And it's like, it's so gay that because of the last 10 years of cancel culture, which, you know, the left did, like now all of politics and all of discourse is just like frantic canceling of each other, where it's like, oh, well, you know, I guess this is just how political discourse is done. You just cancel people you don't like, and whoever can cancel more people wins. And there's a lot of pushback on this. And from what I can tell, it seems like the right has like two options. They can either be like, hey, so guys, the left ruthlessly engaged in cancel culture against us, recklessly, unapologetically for 10 straight years, a decade straight. And that was wrong. So you know what we got to do, guys? We got to not engage with them and defend their right to slander and ruin our lives, even when they would never be charitable in our direction in that way. And in doing so, we will lose every battle to the left from now until the end of time, because this is a loser strategy if the other team is, you know, doing something and you refuse to participate. And the other option is what seems to be the direction the right is going, which is like, hey, the rules of engagement in politics have been made very clear by this past literal decade of ruthlessness as far as going after people for nonsense, ruining lives for silliness. So you know what? Now that the rules are clear, now that we see how political engagement works, we are going to jump into this pit of shit with you, and now we're all doing cancel stuff.
What nonsense and silliness have people been canceled for? Like, the one example I have is Kanye, right? Like, Kanye was praising Hitler. Kanye was just like ripping on Jews and outwardly racist.
James Gunn.
Yeah.
James Gunn lost Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and then we had to suffer through that Taika Waititi fucking abomination with the screaming goats and shit.
Well, I don't know who that is, but as far as like people getting canceled for nonsense, like
director,
it was very regularly happening that people were getting canceled from hate mobs on the left for many years for saying like faggot or a racial slur or something in a post like 9 years ago. People were getting banned for during COVID for anything and everything. People were getting banned post-election for anything and everything. And by the way, talking about government influencing people's speech, I am much more offended by the fact that the Biden administration had a backdoor contact with social media companies, as reported by Mark Zuckerberg in his interview before Congress, where that administration would lean on them and be like, hey, this narrative about COVID, the people, you know, that needs to be suppressed. That needs to be tamped down. Hey, these people talking about the election, that's persona non grata. That's election denial. Get rid of it. And so seeing Kimmel get canceled isn't nearly as impactful to me as seeing like millions of actual Americans, like working and middle class people trying to engage in discourse, which does happen on the public square of social media, being artificially censored because of a secret little backdoor deal where they were leaning on social media. Or even like you want to talk about the
Charlie Kirk called for Joe Biden to be killed. And
no, he said Biden, that I'm sorry,
executed then. Charlie Kirk called for Joe Biden to be executed, and nothing happened. There was no canceling. There was no repercussions. He just kept on being Charlie Kirk.
What did he say he should be executed for?
I think just as part of a crime family. Do you want me to get the
he said for crimes against America or something like that? He said like if there was justice, this would happen to him, which is really bombastic, and I wouldn't say that. But yeah, that's pretty out there. But as far as people getting canceled, like that's been happening nonstop.
The James Gunn situation was tweets, like really off-color jokes about pedophilia, like basically like just bad, dirty jokes and puns that he made on Twitter. And that movie was so fucking bad. Like I don't care about cancel culture. I care about Guardians of the Galaxy, or was it? Yeah, it was Guardians 3. Oh, it was so bad. Oh wait.
I just watched it again. Kirk wasn't.
I'm
specific.
sorry.
He just said kill him for his crimes against America. I don't want to change topics.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we do this to me a lot in particular. Like, hey, Charlie Kirk said this, and there were no repercussions. Let's move on.
No, I'm willing to listen.
Yeah. So he said Joe Biden was like a bumbling, senile, incompetent, whatever, who's committed so many crimes against America. He should be executed. That's pretty close. So you can play the video if you want to see it. And nothing happened.
What would happen?
this-
But see, that's the thing. Like, what could they have done to Charlie Kirk? He has his own platform.
You could deplatform anyone. Like they did it to Kanye. Like,
but he works at
Kanye.
They did it to a sitting president.
They could take his bank away, you know, if they were going, but right? Like they do that sometimes.
No, he didn't offend them, so they won't.
Yeah,
I guess I'm
Thor: Love
saying,
and Thunder,
like,
by the way.
it always seems to
That was
be
good.
some woman screaming at a convenience store employee to go back where they came from because of the color of his or her skin, who gets canceled.
Yeah, but they get fired by their employer down at the
Yes.
DMV or whatever. Charlie Kirk doesn't have that. He has his own multi-million-dollar company. You said the other day how much money he was worth. It was crazy.
Happened, I think Trump would do something. If someone said Donald Trump should be executed for his crimes against America in a position as prominent as Charlie Kirk, I don't think Trump would do nothing about it.
People do that constantly. Go on any social media platform; it's everywhere. And when you said that you were like, when do people get canceled?
Persons
for nonsense?
of prominence who did it like that has a platform. Charlie Kirk had the #1 conservative podcast, right? #1. Yeah, he did. Because Steven Crowder changed his Twitter thing from #2 to #1 as soon as Kirk died. But
what a douche. I'm sorry.
Anyway, so if the #1 conservative podcaster, the #1 liberal podcaster, called for Trump to be executed for unspecified crimes against America, I don't think Trump would just look the other way and let that go.
Yeah, I mean, the kind of proof is in the pudding.
Evidence.
Like,
The pudding is Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen
all
Colbert.
the time. Like there are liberal podcasters out there who say like they wish he was assassinated.
Who said that?
Like I've seen the clips from like Kyle Kalinske saying like, oh, it would have been better if the bullet had hit him. Like that was very very common.
His wife's a podcaster too, right? Christy Bell.
If they're married, then I guess so. But like this was not an uncommon thing. Like people say violent things about Trump all the time. And I don't think that it's a good example of like, well, the literal #1 guy with the largest platform in conservative moderate media, he couldn't be canceled. It's like, yeah, but like they try to cancel people over everything. They tried to cancel that dude they tried to cancel the father of the kid who wore face paint at a Chiefs game just a couple of years ago. They tried to cancel the OK guy. That someone in Trump's first administration lost their job for doing this at the camera because the media freaked out and said that's a white supremacist dog whistle. And that was still the time where the left had all the cultural cachet. And that's what matters when it comes to getting someone canceled, is like how much current cultural cachet you have to wield. And people also just on low levels, like not having their lives destroyed, just simply censored. Like you went non-regime mode on COVID, on the election, on things like crime stats, things like who's to say. Like you say these things on social media and they would censor you. They would deplatform you for it, not for any other reason that it was a no thought that you're not supposed to notice. And this has been rampant. Like it extends all the way from just destroying people's social media platforms, excising them, all the way to like actually trying to ruin their life. Like they tried to ruin Rittenhouse's life. For like what everyone agreed, or everyone who watched it was like, yeah, he got attacked by 3 lunatics and he shot all 3 of them and he hit a pedophile, a wife beater, and some other ghoul. Like these, it's been really clear being on the right, like how careful we've had to be for 10 years to play so carefully within the lines that social media and the left had described for us. It's only now that the Overton window is exploding to the right because so many people are kind of sick of it.
Every time I drill down into the specifics, though, it's like this guy got canceled for a social media post. All he wanted to do was call that actress an ugly N-word. It's like,
what if he said,
what we're defending?
No. What if it was a guy who lost his social media platform because in 2020 he says, these lockdowns are not worth it. This disease is not as dangerous as they're saying. That was like a bannable offense. You guys will recall probably during COVID, COVID denialism was against terms of service. And what that meant is you had to carry whatever the existing regime line was throughout it. When they said it was 100% safe, 100% effective, you had to say that. You couldn't question it.
Yeah,
you said it was 90%. You moved that way.
Fact check showing up underneath people's posts. Like I remember that.
No, people got their accounts banned for COVID denialism for things like saying masks don't work. They're like, this is dangerous misinformation. People are going to die. These people can't talk. grandmas are going to die if people start reading the side of the box that says this isn't meant to stop viral particles. Like that's what I'm talking about, is the level of nonsense that many people on the right have been subjected to, having to comport their speech around all these rules, and at the end, very often still being canceled. Like, that's ridiculous. And now that the shoe is on the other foot, there's a lot of like, wait. Stop. I know we did this for 10 years, but we're not doing this.
The other foot, I asked the same questions, and I aspire to be like accurate and fair to both sides. It's one thing I saw someone on TikTok do an absolute dance while singing "Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead." I don't want to defend that person, right? You know, like I get it. I see how offensive that is, and whatever repercussions come to her socially or career wise, that'll happen, right? But if it's, I just don't particularly agree with Charlie Kirk's views, and that person gets canceled, now this is
not one person has been canceled. Not one person. Find me a person that has been canceled for saying, well, there's a difference here, because people on our side were getting banned and removed from social media from sharing FBI crime stats or something, and people on the left right now are getting canceled for. Dude, there's a ton of people like that. There's like
never any examples when I say who or
Sherry Tenpenny, an anti-vaccination activist and physician known for false claims about COVID vaccines. She had all of her social media banned, were suspended and for spreading misinformation. Her medical license was suspended by the Ohio board for failing to cooperate with that investigation.
I actually have
that's a UK lawmaker. Well, the UK is way worse than we are.
It's way worse than us. I have an excellent example of cancel culture. James Watson, one of the discoverers of the helix DNA structure, made a very glib comment, like not glib, wrong word, but just like passing comment. Not that he was making no value judgments or anything. He just said, well, yeah, like there's an element of genetics and biology to behavior, and there's elements of genetics and biology to race. Like we understand this through DNA, and he was so canceled for saying that. The discoverer of DNA, for just saying this in passing. He didn't say, and therefore, like it was just stating stuff. They made him destitute. He was removed from his job. He had to sell his Nobel Prize to find money. A millionaire had to buy his Nobel Prize from him and then give it back to him so that he had enough to live.
Of gold.
This guy was totally canceled for saying a no thing about science. And like, whether or not you think that's totally absurd or you agree, that's beside the point. But he was canceled because he said something that was ideologically a no thought to the people that currently had cultural cachet.
I won't defend that.
Yeah. And like you shouldn't feel the need to defend it, obviously, because you're not these people. Like most of these people are fucking crazy. You're not the one calling for people's heads.
Less crazy.
Well, none of us are sane, but